All right, hello class. This is our Monday reading video. So a couple notes. First of all, for those of you that were reading Unschooled, you are now reading 4th grade Rats. Everybody else is going to finish around the same time next week. Every single group is going to finish next week on their books, and then we'll start talking about our book reports, okay? So you're just continuing to read and do your summaries for your reading group books, okay? Even though they don't have the little star next to them, it is still important that you are reading because you do have to do a book report on these, okay? So now moving into reading groups. Oh, also, you still have your reading log, your daily comprehension, which does have a little star by it every single day. It's going in as a classwork grade. All 4 of them are coming together into one classwork grade. So you still have your reading log, your reading comprehension, and your reading fluency that you're doing every single day, okay? Now, on to Open Court. So last week I had you guys answer some questions. So the question was, who's famous for saying, "I have a dream"? That would be Martin Luther King Jr. He's the one that we're going to be reading. This is actually part of his speech that he gave that we're going to be reading. Okay, my second question to you was, what was the movement called? And it was called the Civil Rights Movement. Civil rights as in rights for civilians, essentially. And then the third question I had was, who else do you know of that's in this, that was part of this movement? And one big person a lot of people know of is Malcolm X. Now, he was a violent protester, and Martin Luther King Jr. was not. All right, so I'm going to go through and I'm going to read this story to you. I'm sorry, not the story, the speech. It's just 2 pages, not even 2 full pages, but it's 2 pages. And I'm going to be reading some commentary from my book. So I'll tell you when I'm going to pause, okay? So I just want you to listen. You don't have to read along. Just listen and listen to the commentary that I add, okay? All right, I have a dream. Born in 1929, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. began his career at the age of 27 as the minister of the Dexter Avenue Baptist Church in Montgomery, Alabama. He later became the leader of the struggle for civil rights for African Americans. On August 28, 1963, he made his famous "I Have a Dream" speech in Washington, D.C., where more than 250,000 people, which is 250,000, were gathered to convince Congress to pass a civil rights bill. In his speech, Dr. King pleaded for freedom and justice for all people. Now, that isn't part of his speech. It's leading into this speech, telling you what happened around the time of this speech that he gave, okay? So now here's where the speech starts. "So I say to you, my friends, that even though we must face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal." And we're going to pause there. So clarifying important ideas in this section with other sources helps me understand the text. I wonder how a dream can have roots and rise up. Maybe I can figure this out, So, okay, I see that Dr. King was using figurative language to enhance his speech. But these words also act as symbols, okay? By dream deeply rooted, Dr. King means that people, like the runaway slaves and the Grimsky sisters, which we have not touched on at this point, have been striving for equality for decades. People that have run away, there have been people before MLKJ that were striving for equality. He hopes that this dream will rise up as a conscious, active goal of the American people, not just African Americans, but of all American people. He's hoping that this dream will come to light in these people. So as we continue reading, make sure you understand what you've just read. Let me know if you want me to clarify something. So as I'm reading this or as you're reading it, if you ever have questions about it, let me know, okay? So going on, we just read, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day sons of former slaves and sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain shall be made low. The rough places shall be made plain, and the crooked places shall be made straight, and the glory of the Lord will be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is the faith that I go back to the South with. So the South still was extremely prejudiced against African Americans. Sorry, we're pausing. They were still extremely prejudiced against African Americans, okay? So he's saying, I have this dream, and that is the hope. This hope is what I'm going back to this horribly prejudiced place with. All right, going back. With this faith, we'll be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, pray together, struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, a land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. So pausing again, he's saying America cannot be as great as it can be. It will never reach its full potential without this equality between races, between genders, between all people. All people are created equal. And that's what he's putting forth. He's saying our country cannot be as great as it is able to be until we have this equality. All right? Going back. So let freedom ring from the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire. Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York. Let freedom ring from the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania. Let freedom ring from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado. Let freedom ring from the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that. Let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring. And when we allow freedom to ring, when we let it ring from every village and hamlet, from every state and city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, which are non-Jewish people, Catholics and Protestants. Protestants are who we are, who most of us are at least. We are Christian, we're not Catholic. We will be able to join hands and to sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual. Free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last. So, that was the end of the section. It's a good idea to summarize at the end of the section and to clarify an understanding of the text. To summarize, I think Dr. King's point was that people of all races and religions should accept and embrace one another. It is a difficult task to make everybody see this, but he has faith that Americans will overcome all obstacles. When that happens, we will be free people. So your assignment today is to draw a picture based on what I just read and based on what you're supposed to read today. So you're just supposed to read that today, more to help with your own understanding as well. And you're going to draw a picture of how this made you feel, something in here that really spoke to you. You're drawing a picture regarding this. It's a pretty open assignment, and I know that can make it difficult. But that's your assignment today, is just drawing a picture, okay? It does not have a star on it, so it is not for a grade, but it's to help you better understand all of the imagery that he used, okay? And you want to pay attention to all the imagery he used because that'll be part of your assignment on Thursday. I'm going to post a link to his speech for you guys. You can listen to how he said it, okay?